Órale, Cholo Trucker, los tres chingones boxing, man. All right. Let's go ahead and let's talk about it. Let me see. Did I just get a. Oh, sure. I just got an email. Yeah, give me 1 second. Damn it. Why do I get contacted right when I go live, Holmes? Right when I want to talk some boxing, Holmes. People want to start bothering me, man. I sent this email out. They just barely replied back. I guess a chingan, Holmes. I want to talk some boxing. All right, man. So check this out. I know I didn't say I was going to go live today or anything like that, man. I try to go live around this time every Tuesday, but it doesn't really work out. It's a trucker schedule, Holmes. What's up, G Funky? But I got a few minutes. So well, first, I know I put the title Goosen is gone. We'll get to that in just a second. But look, man, over the weekend, Williams and Peta fought. It didn't tell me a damn thing about Williams and Peta. This victory really meant nothing. It meant nothing, Holmes. It meant nothing. All it really meant is that he stays busy. That is it. That's all that really. That's all that really matters. Is that he's staying busy. Outside of that, how much do you really want to give to El Camarón for this stoppage, for this knockout on Saturday? I don't know, not much. I don't really give him too much credit for this. I mean, it's a dude he moved up. I don't really give Williams and Payton much, man, credit for this weekend. But what I will give him credit for is for staying busy. That I'll give him credit for. If the choices are, hey, check this out, man. You want to see him against some better competition, but while we wait for those fights to be made, how about we just throw him a bunch of fighters like this? I'm fine with that. Just stay busy. Stay busy. I mean, I would rather see so many fighters, I hate to bring up the Crawford Spence thing, but I would rather see them stay busy a bunch against a bunch of no-name nobodies while they work out, if they ever make the fight, by the way. But no, look, I like that Zapata is staying busy. But how much, credit do I put behind this victory? Not much. But hey, man, he's staying busy. So how about that? Anyway, and I know there's some news that just came down with Deontay Wilder getting busted. He was caught, I think, in LA. I think it was like after 1 o'clock in the morning. He was busted with a little bit of Yeska and a strap in his ride. I don't think he's gonna do time. I'm already reading reports. Hey, this is gonna affect his fight against Joshua in December. I really don't think so. I'm gonna be real with you guys. I don't think it affects it. But we shall see. All right. So getting to the whole Goosen and Ryan Garcia thing. All right. So I was on here last week, right? Talking about I was at the fight party, the watch party with Ryan Garcia's family. And when I got to the weigh-ins that Friday, immediately, okay, so now I can talk since it's all out there. Immediately, I was hearing a bunch of bad news. Like, hey, man, things aren't good at the camp. Things between Ryan and Goosen and things ain't gelling too well. And I'm like, oh, really? It got me scratching my head. I'm like, oh, Goosen's talking really good, man. He's talking about like, hey, man, this is the best training camp in the top 5 of all the fighters I've ever trained. Had me believing. And when we were there at the house at the watch party, man, Ryan Garcia he's got a big family, dog. That dude's got a big family. And like I said before, like I said last week, I'll say it again. A lot of them, a lot are from Chicago. Not that Ryan's from Chicago, but his family, a lot of them are from Chicago. So anyway, I started catching things here and there, hearing people talk, and in between rounds, people weren't talking good about Goosen, and I'm like, "Hey, man, I thought everything was like good, from the outside looking in. I thought, these guys were good." And I remember talking to his brother Bobby and saying, like, "Hey, doesn't Ryan know Goosen from before this?" And he's all like, "Yeah, they knew each other, man, but it's just not working out, man. He's just kind of seeing Ryan train, and he's not really giving him pointers." I'm like, damn, all right. So the very next day, the Sunday, right? Because I spent the night there at the house. Big ass house, 5 bedroom, 3 bathrooms, swimming pool. And it was, I mean, for the watch, for the fight, I mean, it was jam-packed with Ryan Garcia's family. Um, but I spent the night there. My beautiful, crazy loca wife and I, we spent the night there. The next day we get up, and some of the family that went to the party that the MGM Grand Casino threw for Ryan Garcia showed up to the house because we were having a barbecue. So they showed up to the house, and they were there at the party after the fight at the MGM Grand. What's up, JC? And they were telling us, they said, it's over. They're getting rid of Joe Goosen tomorrow, which would have been that Monday of last week. Not yesterday, but Monday of last week. And I'm like, really? They're getting rid of him? They're like, yeah, yeah. And they started pointing out a lot of things that were going on wrong. And I was like, really? Like, yeah, it's just not working out with them, man. You know, Dad wasn't happy with the work that Goosen was doing either. Goosen wasn't putting the pedal to the metal. He wasn't strict. I don't know. That's a good one, JC. That's a good one. And that's exactly what I'm going to kind of touch on right now. That Vato is uncoachable. Okay. So apparently, Goosen was not strict enough. I don't know if maybe Ryan has if people think of Ryan of this fighter that you can't coach him, you can't tell him this, you can't tell him that. Pretty much like the Vato's a diva, right? That's kind of how it comes off. I think a lot of people think that of him with knowing what happened with Eddie Reynoso in the Canelo camp, what they said about Ryan. It kind of comes off, it leads me to believe that Ryan is some sort of a diva. Whether that may be true or not, I don't know. But apparently they just weren't satisfied with Goosen, that he just was not strict. He just wasn't tough, man. He just wasn't, snapping that whip and saying, hey, this is what we got to do. This right here, this is what we got to do. This, exactly this, and no less. You show up at this time. And by the way, if you show up on time, that means you're late. Right? That Goosen was just a little bit too relaxed. He was just too chillax, man. But again, now I've never met Ryan Garcia. I've never met the kid. I don't know him. I'm good friends with his oldest half brother, but I've never met Ryan Garcia. And I don't know, man. He strikes me as a kid that you can't really be too tough on him, or else he's gonna pick up his stuff and walk away. Now, I may be wrong. I don't know. That's just the way he comes off from what I've been able to see. I guess Reynoso was too strict. Hey, he needs to find something right in the middle. Um, yeah, again, man, I don't know Ryan, so I don't want to say that you know, you could be real strict with him or not. I just the way he comes off to me, Holmes. Just everything that I've seen, I've heard, and things like that. He just kind of seems a little bit of a diva, man. Where it's like, well, I don't really want to hurt the Mato's feelings, man, because I don't want the dude to, pick up his ball and go home. And that's the way he just kind of comes off. I could be 1,000% wrong, man, but that's just the way he comes off. So I don't know if Joe Goosen kind of went in there with that mentality. And by the way, somebody said this before, and I 1,000% agree with it. I don't really see much change in Ryan's game, Holmes. This is his third fight. This is Ryan's third fight with Joe Goosen. Shouldn't we be seeing any improvements? Again, if the kid is coachable, maybe he's not coachable. But if he's not coachable, then why not Goose and say, like, you know what, man, I can't coach you. Now, it's a paycheck, it's a job. I get it. You don't want to fire yourself. But there's got to be, I mean, you do have a reputation, man. I'm not saying he should have. I'm not saying Goosen should have fired him. I mean, fired him. I'm not saying Goosen should have walked on his own and just said, like, you know what, kid, I can't help you. I can't help you because you don't allow me to help you. Let me see. I don't blame Goosen. Let me see. Ryan and his Hefe kept making excuses, blaming others. Yeah, it could be, JC. It could be. I'm not really, I'm just reporting what I was told, man. How do I feel about it? Look, I've said this before when it came to King Ryan Garcia, Holmes. I said this before. Once upon a time, I was a fan of the kid because a lot of people were hating on him, right? He's a good looking kid. He's building a big popularity and everything. And, a lot of vatos just hating on him. And I'm like, nah, the kid's got skills. And then when he started, with his whole little TikTok challenge, and I'm suffering from anxiety, and now I'm hurting my hand from doing a TikTok challenge and taking so much time off. I'm like, okay, this kid's, he's not dedicated to this. This is not his life. And that's when I kind of turned on him. Now, when he came back, I still was not feeling the kid, man. I was still like, I don't know, man. You're smothering your punches. You're not looking all that good. One thing that changed, one thing and one thing only, leading up to this fight against Tank Davis, was the way he carried himself. At least for me. That's the only thing that I saw change in him that made me a believer. That made me say, you know what? I see a young man. I don't really see a punk kid anymore. I see a more mature young man. Just the way he was carrying himself. I was watching many more interviews with him. His mannerisms, everything. He just carried himself more like a young man. which made me think differently of the young Vato, dog. Does that have anything to do with what he does in the ring? No, but just outside, it made me think that he was taking this a heck of a lot more serious. That he was saying, you know what? I made up my mind. This is my life. Boxing is my life. He made me believe that by just the maturity he was showing. So I was kind of thinking, like, okay, maybe you could crack the whip on this kid. Maybe now it's time to push this kid harder than ever before. He's still young. Maybe now he's not the diva that I thought that he was. For him to pick up the ball and say, like, man, Charlie, man, I'm going home. I don't need this. That's what it made me believe. But I'm telling you guys, man, that Sunday, I was told that, hey, the very next day that Goosen was gone. Now it took a full week. I don't know why. I talked to Bobby, I think on last Thursday, and we're we're going back and forth, talking about what's going to go on with Ryan Garcia with his brother. And he was telling me a few things, and I told him, okay, hey, are you guys getting rid of Goosen or what's up? And he's all like, oh yeah, Goosen's gone. Goosen is gone. And I'm like, okay, can I announce it? I mean, it's official. Can I announce it? Hey, chingones and chingonas, I don't care about being first, Holmes. I really don't care about being first. I don't care about, oh man, you heard it here first, man. Here's the new. Nah, Charlie, I don't care about any of that stuff, dog. But he told me, like, nah, you know what? Let the family announce it, then go ahead. And I'm like, all right, cool, firme. And then yesterday, if depending on when you guys are watching this, yesterday you guys saw, a lot of the boxing YouTube channels break it, like, oh man, it's over, it's done, it's done. I'm like, damn, it took a while for them to make it official, but that was done well before that. That was done a full week beforehand. I don't know if Goosen knew it, but for dang sure, Ryan and his team outside of Joe Goosen knew it. So next, coach. Um, they're looking at Robert Garcia. They're looking at Robert Garcia. I was kind of hinting that on the Spanish show last week. They're looking at that. There might be a little bit of issue at the gym, but I think they can go ahead and make it work. This is all. What's up, Hectic Nasty? This is all. Look, man, check this out, Holmes. Okay. I'm not giving anybody any leeway here. Look, Holmes, this is all on Ryan. This is all on Ryan. I got nothing but love and respect for his brother. Bobby's a good camarada on mine. But hey, dog, we're gonna keep it real right here, man. We will not be compromised. This is all on Ryan. If you're not coachable, if this is not your life, hey, homie, get the stepping, youngster. Get the stepping. Come join us at the barbecues, Holmes. Get the stepping, dog. Stop going from gym here to gym there to gym there. And oh man, you know what? It's because this coach this coach that. Hey, you may be telling the truth. I don't know. Maybe everything he said is the truth. That's not the way it's coming across to everybody who's watching, though. Eddie Reynoso didn't have enough time. Maybe that's true. I got no idea. Maybe that's true. But then why would somebody like Canelo and the rest of the team there say, like, hey, man, this guy wasn't really showing up at the gym? For a coach to have time for you, You need to be available. Now, Joe Goosen, I don't even know who the heck he's training. Does anybody know who Joe Goosen is training outside of Ryan? I mean, now he doesn't even have Ryan anymore, but I don't even know who he's training. But now, if what you're saying is true, that Goosen is a little bit past his prime, he's a little bit too old. He's not cracking the whip. You need somebody to, be on your ass and pushing you. That's a good thing if that's true. If that's true, which I don't know if it is or isn't. Ryan working out says he's going to be back soon. Hopefully, the tank fight woke up something in him. If not, he gotta go. Areola, yeah, he trained Areola, but I mean, JC, I mean, how much more of a career does Areola have? And by the way, Hectic Nasty, you're 100% correct. I heard the same thing. They told me the same thing. Ryan is already back training. He's already back. He's already working out. He's looking to be back in the ring in about 3 to 4 months. Not really sure what's going on with him and Golden Boy. There's a little bit of friction there as well. But apparently, okay, again, I don't want to call anybody a lie. I got nothing but love and respect for his familia because they showed me nothing but love, man. It was a great time. Shout outs to the Garcia family. I got nothing but love and respect for them. And I hope to hang out with them again, man. Even if it's not for a fight, man. It was a beautiful time. Serio, dog. But I told them we're not gonna be compromised here. We're gonna keep it real. Ryan, while I do believe he's showing maturity, I'm not convinced that boxing is his life. That's just me talking, and like I said, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. And you're right, Hectic. Maybe losing to Tank maybe did wake something up in him. Maybe it did. But I was told specifically numerous of times he is done with catch weights. He is done with the 135. He is done with all that stuff. He's starting, as they were telling me, a new career at 140. So, like I said before, he's not going to be fighting anybody, any big names, man. At the moment, that is, of course. And let's see who he gets as coach. But I want to root for Ryan. On the Sadio dog, like I want to be a fan of this kid, man. I do. Damn, this kid he needs, okay, all right. I was gonna say he needs somebody to show him, but he needs to be the one to put the pilas on to say, like, you know what? Teach me. And if you got to kick my ass by teaching me, then you kick my ass. Hold no punches. Let's do this. If not, then it doesn't matter what coach he gets. You're gonna be like a straight out hood rat, man, going from coach to coach to coach to coach, dog. Getting passed around, Holmes. But man, this kid, I want to root for him. I think he's got the skills where he can be great. I know people are questioning his heart. I know people are questioning his heart because he didn't stand back up. I got it. Especially what happened over the weekend with the Williams Zepeda fight. Understood. Difference with that is that Ryan Garcia was dehydrated. Ryan Garcia had the rehydration clause, and that's not an excuse. I want to make it clear. I'm not here to make excuses for the kid. Hey, you felt you couldn't do it. You couldn't do it. Okay, you're saying you're pushing forward with 140 and starting your career somewhat over again. Okay, fine. A toda madre. But it's got to be a toda madre o un desmadre. Hey, man, but it doesn't matter what coach he gets, dog. Ultimately, it's got to be on Ryan. If he gets in with Robert Garcia, good move. Good move. But the student has to be there, willing to be taught. So, and I want to root for this kid. I want this kid to do good. I do, man. I do want this kid to do good. He is fun to watch fight. Yeah, he is fun, man. I do like watching him fight. But damn, kid, keep your hands up. Every punch you throw, you drop your hands. Yeah, dog. Anyway, man, I just thought I'd come on here just for a few minutes to just talk about that. But yeah, that's kind of what I was holding back on last week. I heard the very next day after the fight that they're done with Goosen. It is over, that it was supposed to be over that Monday, which was Monday of last week. For one reason or another, I don't know, man. They waited till this Monday. So and it looks they're looking at Robert Garcia. I think they're already kind of chopping it up with him. Let's see what happens with that. I hope Ryan takes boxing serious, and maybe he is. I don't know, man. Just all the stuff. I know everybody takes what Canelo said to heart, and I have no reason not to believe Canelo. I just see something different in Ryan, a little bit more maturity. That does not mean that he's taking boxing serious. It probably just means he's taking life serious. I don't know. I could just be completely off my rockers and be 1000% wrong about it all, man. But I want to root for this kid. I want this kid to do good. Hopefully he comes back. Like I've been hearing that he's gonna be back in about 3-4 months. And we'll see what happens, man. But I'll just leave you guys with that, man. Cholo Trucker, Los Tres Chingones boxing. Shouts to all the junk. Shouts to all the chingones and chingonas out there. I'll catch you guys on next round.